This video describes how to design and deploy the custom screen for the PC3 web interface. We have started a custom screen already and added the JPanel custom screen background. The next step is to add components to the screen and assign variable names to them. The custom screen will then be compiled and deployed to the PC3 unit. First step is to add components to the custom screen. We use the OEM palette. Each of these buttons or displays items can be dragged from the palette onto the custom screen. A Boolean button is used to set a Boolean variable. Boolean variable is an indicator of the true or false value by color coding. A text button is used for setting a text-based variable such as a number or a string, so forth. Text variable is used for displaying a text-based variable such as a number or a string. The file link button is used for accessing files in the PC3 file system such as the data log or event log. Text labels are used purely for labels. However, they can also be used to create frames or partitioning between separate controls on the screen. You can do this via the border property. For instance, with this text label set to no border, you can set to a tiled border, and then this can be used to partition off certain items. Each button or variable indicator has an ISOVariName property. This is the variable in the IceGraph dictionary that the button or variable applies to. The list of variables is taken from the variable names list file. Hence, only variables that you put into this text file will appear in the list here. For the Boolean button, there are two extra properties, apply state and apply without confirm, that determine the behavior of the Boolean. If apply without confirm is ticked, then pressing the button will apply the apply state to the ISOVariName immediately and without a confirmation dialog appearing. The apply state is unticked for false and ticked for true. When apply without confirm is unticked, every time the button is pressed, a dialog box will appear asking the user for the new state of the variable. They also will have the option to cancel the operation. We have set this button to change the value of the myBool variable. Our indicator will also show the state of the myBool variable. It will show blue for false and red for true, which is the default that the IceGraph workbench uses while in debug mode. We'll set the text button to change the myInt variable. we'll set the text variable display to show the value of the myReal variable. The inspector window shows the order that the controls are displayed in. Controls near the top of the list are displayed in front of controls down the bottom of the screen. So this text label here is displayed under all the other controls. The file link button here has to have a file location set in order for it to be effective. File locations are specified using forward slashes to separate directories, and every file location must start with a slash to indicate the root directory. A common file that will likely need to be downloaded is the event log. Its file location is a slash indicating the root directory, followed by elog.csv. In this case, the ISAVAR name is only used to determine whether the control should be displayed or not. The button will not modify the variable value. So this is our test screen. We now save everything and compile the custom screen by right-clicking the project and specifying clean and build. An output window will appear, and the result of the compilation will be indicated down the bottom. In this case, the build was successful. If the build fails, then other error messages will be highlighted in red. The compilation of the custom screen creates a file in the project directory. If we go to the custom screen directory, there are two subdirectories under here, build and dist. Build contains intermediate files that the compiler produces, known as class files. Here we can see the screen panel class intermediate file. The class files are grouped together and put into the dist directory using a custom screen 1 jar file as the collection. A jar file is like a zip file and contains the class files inside it. And in order to deploy the custom screen to the controller, this custom screen 1.jar file needs to be downloaded to the PC3 controller. In addition, the custom screen components.jar file that was used to design the screen also needs to be downloaded to the controller. Both of these files need to go into the public HTML directory of the controller. We'll copy them now. I'll now deploy both jar files to the controller. Helps to put them into the same directory. So I make a copy of custom screen components.jar in here. Then copy both files and browse to the FTP server of the controller. And then paste the files there. Now that I have copied both custom screen jar files, custom screen 1 and custom screen components to public HTML directory, the screen has been deployed. let's go to the web page. When I go to the variables page, I expect to see the table view by default. And this is what is displayed. However, now we can also see a second tab at the top of the screen called My Custom Screen, based on the name of the JPanel that we assigned earlier. And here we can see our custom screen display. We have the option of setting MyBall, and because the apply without confirm property was set to false, a dialog box is displayed asking us for the new value. If we set it to false, we can see that our indicator changes to false. Here we can see the text has exceeded the width of the button. That can be changed. However, we won't worry about that now. We're able to set the value for the integer field. As you can see, the default value is the current value of the integer. Our real field is a display only. We cannot control or change the value from this custom screen. If we go back to the table view, we can see the new value that I assigned to the integer. And if I change the real value from the table view, the new value will display in the custom screen. Finally, we have the Download Event Log button. If I click this, it brings up a new tab in the browser. The tab gives you the option of saving the file or opening the file. We will save it. So I'll open the saved file, and here we can see our event log.